Just why? Why are you feeling poor right at the start of this video? I think it's worth rethinking. But the fact you are watching this video means you are somewhere in the middle of the total wealth pyramid. It's easy to look up and feel frustrated at why some people have so much more than me. But sometimes, just look down the wealth pyramid for a moment too. If you have internet access to watch this video, plus some food in the fridge, clothes on your back, a roof over your head, and a place to sleep, then you are richer than 75% of this world. In fact, even if you have $1 to your name right now, you are still richer than the majority of the world who are either in debt or have absolutely nothing. Nobody has it all. And I mean nobody. It's easy to think of wealth in terms of rich or poor, but broadly speaking, there are arguably 5 different levels of rich. And at each level, things change very drastically. The difference between what a millionaire can do and a billionaire can do is simply staggering. In this video, we'll be exploring what life is like at each of these different wealth levels. But as you're watching, you'll realize that one of the biggest changes that happens at each wealth level is perspective. Because prices feel relative to how much you earn. So if you compare someone who's earning $40,000 a year with someone earning $400 million a year, it's 10,000 times more. Which means a Lambo that costs $300,000 to them is equivalent to spending $30. A $10 million piece of art feels like $1,000, and a $50 million home feels like $5,000. So whilst to us, those purchases would feel so major, to a billionaire, it's not even something they need to think about.
What?
And of course, when you're that wealthy, it's not just items and experiences you can buy. Whatever you can imagine is yours. But we will get to that later. So let's start off with the first level of rich. Even though this phrase is synonymous with being extremely rich, if your income is over $200,000 a year, you would technically be a part of the top 1% of worldwide earners. And so, being in the top 1% may not make you feel quite as rich as you think.
Billy, I need more money.
Because sure, you can typically afford a nice house and a car, but with those things comes higher costs. And so you probably don't feel very financially secure, and you're likely still working a full-time job. Which is why, beyond this level, wealth starts being measured in net worth rather than income. And as more wealth you have, the more assets you have, and you're probably not making your money from a salary. Up at this level, your needs are met. You can live very comfortably. You have a really nice house. You often fly first class internationally. If it's a special occasion, you might book a $2,000 suite. You can afford any healthcare you need. And in fact, no emergency financial situation can destroy your life. But you are still not rich in the way that money doesn't matter. You still have to be sensible and careful with big decisions. And in the banking world, you're still not classified as ultra-high net worth.
You do not have the assets to justify this loan.
At this point, you start playing in the big leagues. And most likely you run or have controlling interest in a very large company. You always stay at 5-star hotels, and you have multiple residences all around the world that you can stay at. You take holidays during prime time, for example going to Monaco for a Grand Prix or Cannes for film festival, and you won't bet an eyelid when the place you're staying costs you $15,000 a night. You have personal assistants and are starting to have people that others have to talk to get to you. You can buy pretty much anything that normal people think of as stuff rich people buy. Like you can get any car you want, the fanciest jewelry, and so on. Instead of flying first class, you fly private. At this level, your social circles change dramatically too. You probably socialize with politicians and senators. You are likely very well respected within some very high-class circles. Interestingly though, since you're likely surrounded by some other ultra-wealthy people, you may still feel you don't have enough. You may have just bought a new Ferrari, but your friend has a limited edition version where only 5 of them were ever made. Sure, you just had dinner with a local politician, but your billionaire friend just had dinner with the head of the state. To be at this level, you likely have ownership or control of a business that most of the public must have heard of, even if they haven't heard of you directly. At this point, you can likely socialize with movie stars, rock stars, and the corporate elite. You can go pretty much anywhere you want and always in style. You have multiple residences with staff all over the world with elite cars at every residence. If it's your thing, you might have a private island and of course a private yacht to take you there. Want to play tennis with your favorite tennis star? Call his people for a donation of $100,000 to his charity. You can probably play a match with him. If you can dream and experience up, you can likely have it. Donations and fee can get you anywhere. Once you have many hundreds of millions of dollars, it's the same when buying things. You may hire people to find you the most extravagant versions of items possible. In fact, if you're ultra wealthy, you can literally have gold everything. At this level, it's not just about buying the fanciest, most luxurious items. It's about getting the rarest and most exclusive things you possibly can. You could get a limited edition pen that costs $160,000 and only 8 are made each year. Your mind is the only real limit to what is available. Before we get into what you can do as a billionaire, which is pretty insane, it's worth noting that the number of billionaires on Forbes' annual rich list has significantly increased in recent years. So what can these billionaires buy? We're no longer just talking about luxurious items and experiences. Firstly, you can buy access.
Good day, Lee.
Thank you, sir.
You can ask your staff to contact almost anyone on planet and get a call back. It's amazing the level of access and respect a billion can get you, where within an hour, you could ask your people to get in touch with someone and they'd be able to do it.
Hello?
It's not just celebrities either. It works the same with powerful people within politics too.
Excuse me, sir. It's a telephone call. The president.
What country?
This one, sir.
Probably needs another loan.
Especially because the billionaire may well be a donor to their political party. And so, if you're a billionaire, you may occasionally meet with the heads of state and have conversations with them. Which brings us to the second thing a $1 billion can buy: influence. As a billionaire, you have many ways to shape public policy and public debate. Because of your wealth and connections, you can absolutely influence big changes in the world. And not just on a political level, because another thing you can buy is impact. Through philanthropy and charity, your money can literally change countless lives. The question is, how do you distribute it?
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Icelandic snow owl.
With money, you can impact almost anything of your choice. But one of the biggest differences with billionaires that is often overlooked is the ability to essentially buy time. You quite literally don't have to wait for anything. No line, no sitting around. Just think about it. You've got your own private jet, so you just show up at the airport whenever you want, sit down in the plane, and 2 minutes later, you're in the sky and can go anywhere you wish. When you arrive, a driver will have been arranged to pick you up and take you wherever you want to go. Your assistant will already have got you the best table at the restaurant. Or maybe your assistant arranged for a celebrity chef to come to one of your vacation homes instead, at whatever time you choose. However, believe it or not, there are some downsides to being this ultra wealthy. Firstly, it's nearly impossible to have normal emotional relationships at this level. It can become increasingly difficult to have friends and family that love you for who you are. They exist, but it is pretty hard to know which ones are they, because your world is likely filled with yes men and people looking to take advantage at every opportunity. Your trust and connections with people are undoubtedly considerably weakened.
Everybody wants to be us.
Finally, and most crucially, no level of money can give you everything. Death is the greatest equalizer, and losing loved ones, and losing your own health, and facing your own mortality are problems that no amount of money can solve. What this video really highlights is that rich versus poor is so arbitrary. It's not two groups. There are many levels, and compared to most of the world, you might well be a lot richer than you think. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications for some future mini documentaries that are on the way. Thank you so much for watching it till the end. You are a legend, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, everyone.